Gambit.
Yeah. Please go away.
Fucking TikTok, man.
Well, it's not TikTok. It's hold on, I have to do all the shit that Matt usually does and make sure. You know what? We're just gonna go. We're gonna wing it. It is what it is.
Do it live.
Fuck you. Do it live. Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
This is the Jedi Enclave Presents. Now, this is Podcasting Podcast, which is our weekly podcast about Star Wars and Star Wars accessories.
Now with 100% less production.
Fewer
producers, less production.
Less production, fewer producers,
Yes.
yeah. So our our producer Matt's on a God knows why is on a road trip to Ohio or some dumb place like that.
There is never a good reason to go to Ohio.
No, I did a guest conducting gig in Ohio once.
Was there a good reason to go there?
I was doing an all Star Wars program of orchestral music.
Okay,
so
that is approaching a good reason.
It was pretty but also I hated being in Ohio. That was the big drawback was that I was in Ohio. Yeah. On the show today, Star Wars news, our summer blockbuster list, which we've got one crossed off the list already, and we got a handful more we're going to watch this summer, which will be reviews that we bring to you when we watch them. There were a couple of trailers that we saw that looked pretty fucking cool, and Spider-Noir.
Oh God!
Episodes 1 through 4 because we didn't have time to watch all of it.
Because as we occasionally point out, I have a life. Daniel has significantly less of a life, but I just could not cram an entire season of Spider-Noir into the past 2 days.
Am I supposed to be offended by what you just said?
I mean you're a hermit.
That's not entirely true. I see people. Actually, I'm more busy in the summer than I usually am during the year, which is kind of weird. But anyway, yeah, we didn't have enough time to do all 8 episodes, so we're gonna do episodes 1 through 4 today. Next week we'll talk about the others. Jack says, "I love Ohio." Well, you're wrong. No, you don't.
That's the Stockholm syndrome talking.
Yeah. So while you're here, if you could give us a like on Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Kick, or Discord, except for the guy who I assume your home state I just insulted. I'm very sorry.
Anyway, we're
KX says KX Nunes says hello, but which by the way, we don't have our producer today. This is a live show, so we'll be responding to chats as they come in, hopefully. So as we go through all of our little discussions here, if you want to weigh in on what you think and what your opinions are and all that other bullshit, please feel free to. We would love to. We're doing a slightly different format today, which is I'm going to switch this over to the slideshow. Oh. And there's going to be a little visual aid of what we're talking about, which is our first thing today is about I love when these things pop up. Because
it's the Skeleton Crew rumor.
Yeah, which this is how you know we just had a big not a big Star Wars movie, but we had a Star Wars movie.
A Star Wars movie.
And now they're we don't know what's next, and there are no upcoming shows or video games or anything. So now
isn't the next thing Ahsoka season 2,
which by the way got postponed.
Oh,
it was supposed to be in December of this year. And they're like, it's going to be early 2027, which could be anywhere between January and May. Could be early 2027. Okay. So I'm a little pissed about that because I was really looking forward to seeing that. But what I'm saying, though, is that there's not a lot of news that's going to be coming out of Star Wars probably for a little bit.
Which means it's time for rumors.
Yeah, and this little bitty thing here, why are we talking about Ohio? Well... Ohio sucks. I thought I made that pretty clear.
Pretty much, yeah.
So there's a rumor. You want to tell us about the rumor? I want to make sure that our thing works here.
Who is the actor who's giving an interview and saying maybe, possibly, there may be another season of Skeleton Crew?
Actress Carrie Condon, who played what's her name's mom,
Okay, yeah,
one of the like administrators
yeah. Yeah.
or whatever,
Mhm.
said that she heard maybe possibly that a second season could happen, though she stressed she doesn't know anything definite, which means that this rumor is fucking useless.
Yes.
It's a useless rumor.
The
Who the fuck
the
knows?
only reason this is even worth considering is that season 1 ended in a place where you could like there are very definite plot strings to keep pulling on.
Yeah.
But like until you actually hear from an actual Lucas source saying we're doing this,
Yeah,
it's not happening.
it's probably not happening. Yeah, and also on the other hand, this could very easily read as actor wants to act in things,
Trying to manifest it.
Yeah, they're trying to manifest a new season of it. So it's it's one of those things where I like the first season well enough. A second season would be kind of cool. In fact, I thought it's been so long since I've seen Skeleton Crew, but the boy that played the lead actor or the lead role in that I remember being really good.
Yeah.
So I would, in fact, I think all the kids were good in that show.
Really good job.
And Jude Law was neat too.
Of course.
So I would watch a second.
I mean, he's
season.
Jude Law.
Interesting thing here that though I was reading up on this a little bit. Despite positive reviews, viewership was relatively weak, according to the article. Its first few episodes generated 382 million minutes viewed in their debut week, the lowest launch for a live-action Star Wars series, which does not necessarily surprise me, given that the audience for that show was very obviously it's a Spielberg-ish Goonies /
E.T.
the E.T. kind of thing, right? So it's supposed to be for kids.
I mean, it's literally about the space suburbs.
Yeah. Yeah. So, will we get Skeleton Crew season 2? Who knows? Let us know in the chat if you have opinions about it. Hey, I'm from Ohio. Well, that sucks.
Sorry for your loss.
I saw Mandalorian Grogu Sunday. It was a Star Wars movie that exists. Lord Fuckface sure was a fuckface. Wait, hold on. You sat around for our whole review and you hadn't seen the movie yet?
What? Come on, bro.
Speaking of Mandalorian, this is a really good springboard into our next thing. So some facts and figures for the film here.
It's doing shitty at the box office.
It's not doing amazing. Though I'm not sure how much that actually matters. So The Mandalorian and Grogu opened to 98 million over a 4-day Memorial Day weekend in North America, with 82 million over a traditional 3-day weekend. Makes it the lowest opening weekend for a Disney-era Star Wars movie, edging right below Solo: A Star Wars Story. International opening was 63 million. The global opening through May 25th is 167, which the production budget was 165 million. And the rule of thumb in Hollywood is that you take the production budget and then you double it to account for the marketing, and that's usually, so it's nearly
that's your break-even point,
right? So it's like they need 370 or whatever. Yeah, sorry, math. To break even on the film.
They might get there by the time it leaves theaters, possibly.
It's hard to tell with Hollywood accounting what goes into that.
Yeah.
Like there'll be tie-in things at like Disney World and stuff. This is it's easy to look at this and be like, oh my god, this is like a huge, like, oh my gosh, Star Wars is dead, which is something they do every, we see a headline like that every few months.
Every time there's a new Star Wars thing, oh my god, Star Wars is dead. We need George Lucas to save Star Wars.
Yeah, a couple of things to think here. First of all, a $98 million 4-day opening is still considered pretty strong, especially in the post-pandemic market.
Yeah.
After the pandemic, I don't know if you all noticed, but the cinema industry was severely wounded, and like overnight, we just didn't bounce back.
People got used to watching things at home.
Right? Yeah.
They thought, hey, my TV is still pretty good.
Right.
It's not as big as a movie screen, but it does the job.
Also, this is a weird thing that Star Wars fans do, and the media does, where they compare it to other Star Wars releases, which is kind of dumb. Because to compare this to the next best earner, I guess, Solo: A Star Wars Story, is kind of it's dumb because it was cheaper to make than Solo: A Star Wars Story, and the critical reception was better by a lot than Solo: A Star Wars Story. So like people like it more than Solo, and it wasn't as it was cheaper to make. So comparing it's apples and oranges. It just doesn't make sense to compare those two things. So like as a Star Wars movie, it's doing the worst out of all the Star Wars movies. As a movie, it's doing fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's doing fine. It's not, it's not Project Hail Mary or any of like the movies that have come out this year that have been like really huge things. But it will probably end up making them a little bit of money. And
Maybe.
then, yeah, that'll be the end of it. Should it have been a season 4 on Disney Plus? Yes, probably. I think it probably should have been, but it's it wasn't.
Then they would have had to been in like 2 or 3 filler episodes, and it would have been kind of awkwardly paced, and we've gotten 20 minutes every week for 2 months. And
Rhoda's voice weirded the fuck out of me. Oh, did we talk about this during the review? But it was Jeremy Allen White who did Rhoda's voice.
Who did not sound anything at all like I remember Jeremy Allen White sounding
like in The Bear. Which, by the way, that show has its last season coming out fairly soon, like in the next couple of months, I think. So, yeah. Solo was ungodly mid, but the way he got the name Solo, oh yeah, I think most people were like, oh, so that was the big fear for Solo's Star Wars Story. Was that they were gonna be like, do you want to know how
this
Han
is
Solo,
how he got his vest and his blaster?
Yeah. Do you want to know? You want to know how Han Solo got his striped pants? Well, there's a whole story about it. This is the story about how Han Solo got his striped pants. Do you want to know how Han Solo became friends with Lando Calrissian? Do you want to know how Han Solo became friends with Chewbacca? Like that was the whole movie, right? And
do you want to know why Greedo hates Han Solo so much?
I stole his woman and fucked her, by the way. I'm not kidding.
Good for him.
I am not kidding.
Yeah, I know.
That was literally the reason why Greedo was so pissed at Han Solo. Was she a Rhodian, I wonder? Probably.
If so, what? God bless.
Yeah.
Life finds a way.
Oh my God. So I've been reading, I'm almost finished have been reading the John Williams biography by Tim Grieving, which is the first biography written about John Williams, who's still alive, by the way, somehow. And he made a joke in this book. He was talking about some of the music for Star Wars, incidental music he wrote for a bar scene, like the Cantina theme, and made a joke about how George Lucas called it jizz in the book. Yeah, because he wasn't trying to be dirty.
Yeah, he just didn't want it to be jazz.
Right.
So,
he wanted it to be spacey
what's
jazz.
What's a word that evokes jazz? Jizz.
Yeah, which I suppose it does.
Good for you, John Williams. Or sorry, George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas. Yeah.
I got there in the end.
Which, by the way, one of the films on our summer blockbuster list may very well be John Williams' last films. So, Damon Lindelof was talking a little bit about him getting fired from the Star Wars movie he was set to work on. He was doing the Rey-focused Star Wars, presumably the beginning of maybe a trilogy or maybe not. Damon Lindelof famously was the guy that was really involved in Lost, and people were pretty excited about it, but he was publicly discussing his version of the upcoming movie and how he was hired in 2022 and later removed from the project before his scripts moved forward. And were you wanting to say something? Or
no?
Okay, I heard you take a bated breath, and I wasn't sure if you were.
No, I think I yawned. It's been a long day.
So Lindelof, well, don't yawn on our fucking podcast.
I'm trying.
People are turning away right now. They're turning the podcast off right now. They're like the fucking host can't even stay awake. It has been a long day. So Lindelof described the core idea of his script as a battle between like the force of nostalgia and the force of revision, and compared the concept to a Protestant Reformation inside Star Wars, which if he said this shit to Kathleen Kennedy, it's probably what got him fired. If you walked into Kathleen Kennedy's office,
last thing we need now.
He's like, Kathleen, I'm going to do the Protestant Reformation inside Star Wars. She's like, you're fired. Get the fuck out. We don't want that.
We do not need anything else to divide this goddamn fan base.
Also, I'm Catholic. Get the fuck out. Also, I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy's Catholic. So the goal was to explore how the Jedi and the galaxy should move forward after Episode 9 without directly commenting on fandom or breaking the fourth wall. So it kind of sounds like this is. I think this has to be a.
That's extremely meta.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Is it's one of those things that's always going to exist now. When people come in to do a Star Wars project, there is no getting around the fact that when you sit down to do a new Star Wars project, especially if you've never done one before, like say you're a new Rian Johnson, and you're sitting down at the table, you've just been hired to do a Star Wars. What is your first thought?
Lightsabers are cool.
Okay. My first thought would be this fandom is fucking insane and they'll kill me. At the very least, they'll threaten to kill me on social media. So,
I mean, just look at what happened to poor Kelly Marie Tran.
Or countless others. I mean, Daisy Ridley. No one fucked with Adam Driver because he might punch you straight in the face. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole list of people that Star Wars fans have abused online. And so when you're a creative force sitting down to do a new Star Wars, your thought has to be either how do I appease this massive insane people, or how do I make fun of them, right? And it sounds like maybe his thought was, oh, we're gonna make fun of them, and it was probably a good call to be like, no, you're not. We don't need Lucasfilm headquarters like burned down, to the foundation or anything.
Laughing with your fandom is okay.
Yeah.
Laughing at them, that's how you get firebombed.
Yeah. So the film would have followed Rey Skywalker rebuilding the Jedi Order after the sequel trilogy, and Damon Lindelof viewed Rey, Finn, and Poe as the previous generation's center of Star Wars and believed the franchise needed to establish a new center moving forward, which I don't think enough time has gone by for them to have earned that. So like by the time that Force Awakens came around, the old guard was Mark and Carrie and Harrison
it had
Ford.
been like 40 years or something.
It had been a really long time, and a whole trilogy of other Star Wars films was in between. And so like they felt like the old guard because it had been several decades, and it hasn't been that long. And another thing too, like Carrie and Mark and Harrison Ford, in addition to their 3 movies, their likenesses and characters were used in an expansive extended canon with books and video games and everything else.
And lunchboxes.
Yeah. And so like we lived with that for 40 years before they came out with another film that had one of them in there.
Yeah.
And I know like they've been pretty aggressive with some of the comic books and the novels and stuff, but Daisy Ridley and John Boyega and Oscar Isaac, it hasn't been 40 years since their last Star Wars movie. It feels like it was 40 years ago, but it was right before COVID, and that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Though COVID was 6 years ago, and that also somehow feels profane to me. That it feels like it was just yesterday, but no, it was actually like closer to a decade ago than it was yesterday. So anyway, the current status of the movie, so it's gone through multiple writers. It went through Damon Lindelof, then Justin Britt Gibson, and then Stephen Knight, and now it's with George Nolfi. And the film remains in development with Charmin Obaid-Chinoy attached to direct, and Daisy Ridley expected to return as Rey. So it looks like...
It really sounds like they don't know what they want to do with this movie.
Right, and that's one of the reasons why I think Daisy Ridley has been so sketchy about it when people ask her. She's like, oh, it'll be good whenever it happens. It'll probably be really good.
We're on our like 5th or 6th script at this point, but it'll be great.
Yeah. As long as I get to swing a lightsaber around, I'm sure I'll be fine with it.
As long as the check clears.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Daisy Ridley's done pretty well for herself. She's been in a handful of movies. I know that The Force Awakens was kind of like the first big project she was involved in, and there was a lot of learning she had to do.
She's been in a bunch of stuff since then.
Yeah, and has been good in it. Like she was in Murder on the Orient Express, and while that movie was maybe a little mid, she was really good in it. So, what's next? Cal Kestis.
Oh. Why is Cal Kestis next?
So, because a Disney/Lucasfilm representative told Game Rant, we've got some more Cal stories coming, this is what I'm saying. when there's not a lot of Star Wars news, this is what we have
People
to go
just
for.
latch on to this
Yep.
tiniest little morsel.
Yeah. So the comment was made while discussing the future of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And they mentioned that there's Cal Kestis' story isn't over, and what they didn't, I guess, confirm was whether or not they meant a new Star Wars game or if they're going to be comics, or maybe what fans are kind of waiting for being Cameron Monaghan coming over to live action for a live action Cal Kestis story. So
it is worth pointing out that Summer Games Fest is June 5th, which is next week.
Yeah.
So
are we expecting any?
I would not expect anything on the Cal Kestis front, simply because it's been too little time since the last one. But I don't know. There might be some other weird reveals.
Oh, I don't know. The last one was kind of a long time ago.
Yeah. But like the racer game still isn't out, so we might get something new on that.
Oh, that's supposed to come out this year, I thought. Also, when is Zero Company happening?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. No, anyway. So, this could be a game. It could be the game. It could be a live action thing, which there aren't a ton of places you can put Cal Kestis, just because he's just a normal human dude. So he only presumably lives for 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could put him in Ahsoka season 2. Maybe.
You'd have to age up Cameron Monaghan a little bit.
Yeah. Or they do or they do something original maybe.
They do a one-off crossover with like Rebels, because he was active in about that time, right?
In Bad Batch, he would have been. Well, I mean, yeah, he would have been anywhere between Bad Batch and Ahsoka, I think. In that entire timeline, he could be.
Anyway.
Maybe the second season of Maul Shadow Lord, though probably not as likely. Or they could, if they ever do more Mandalorian things, they could kind of squeeze him in there too. Feel bad for Daisy Ridley, especially the actor for Finn. Disney screwed them both over. That's actually really true. I tend to roll my eyes at people who are like, oh, Disney's evil, blah, 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 which, I mean, they're a corporation. All corporations are evil, but people like to just bitch at Disney because they don't know really what they're talking about. However, Disney very obviously did not know how to deal with having a black main character.
Mm-hmm.
And they scaled his stuff back a whole bunch. John Boyega has been really vocal about this.
He was pissed for a long time.
Yeah, they did the same thing to Kelly Marie Tran as well, just because some fans got really pissy about Rose. They just kind of sidelined her in the last film when she is a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. You can not like her character and you cannot like how the film is written that she's in, but she is a good actor. And it sucks that, people don't realize that Rose and Kelly Marie Tran are not the same thing. That Rose is a character she's pretending to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sounds really basic that we have to explain this, but it seems like some people don't understand the difference, which is really too bad.
Anyway, what's next?
This is our This is our hold on, where's my
Disclosure Day. This is
this
is Spielberg.
Right. So this is our summer blockbuster lineup that you and I are going to see this summer. So we're going to go through a couple of the movies we plan on seeing and reviewing here on the channel. We don't have a ton of time to do this.
Lightning round. Let's go.
So
Mando and Grogu already happened.
Yeah, that's already done. Disclosure Day comes out on June 12th. The upcoming Spielberg, John Williams.
Yep.
Yes, perhaps both of their last. You never know. An alien.
I will believe
story.
John Williams dies when he's in the grave.
Yeah. In the latest trailer for this that came out a couple days ago, there are a couple of interviews in the kind of put in the trailer with Steven Spielberg, and then footage from the film about him saying that if you took Steven Spielberg today and Steven Spielberg when he made Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that Steven Spielberg today is way more convinced that there's intelligent life out in the universe somewhere.
Okay.
And that it seems like that's a thing in his mind, and that's what he's wanting to explore with this. And it looks really neat.
Yeah.
If for no other reason than the cast is really good. The Emily Blunt's in it. the guy that was the main character for Ryan Johnson's latest
The Southern Detective guy played by Daniel
yeah.
Craig.
He played the main character in that movie. He was also really good. There's a guy from Euphoria that's amazing. There are a handful of really good actors that are in this movie, and we're going to be seeing that. Of course, Supergirl. Which we saw.
Oh, this movie looks fun.
That'll be June 26th. Millie Alcock reprising her role. Which, by the way, I was telling you that that our producer, my friend Matt, have been going through all of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. And of course, Millie Alcock plays Rhaenyra Targaryen in the first several episodes of the first season, and she is so good. Like that, she's so good, and I love her. Then we are. This is really hard to see. Our faces are kind of over the big image here. But
what the hell is this?
Yeah, this will be the Odyssey. Chris Nolan's The Odyssey. Which will be July 17th. I think the last Chris Nolan movie you and I saw and reviewed was Oppenheimer, which was also
a banger.
It was a good movie. I think the only Chris Nolan movie I haven't loved is Tenet.
I understand that film is divisive.
I understand that film is incomprehensible.
Also that.
And I know that people are like, "Oh, you don't get it." It's like you don't get it either, motherfucker. Like, don't pretend like you understand what Tenet's about. Nobody understands what Tenet's about.
I don't think Christopher Nolan.
I don't think he does. I've seen him talk about it. I've seen him try to like explain what it's about, and it's like you were on mushrooms when you wrote this movie, weren't you?
Or else he was just doing like cocaine in the edit bay.
Yeah. Which good for
heroin.
Good
heroin.
For yeah. Don't do both of those. Actually, don't ever do heroin either. That's really terrible. And then also Spider-Man Brand New Day, which will be July 31st, which presumably will be Tom Holland's final Spider-Man movie. And if you've seen the trailer, lots of shirtless Tom Holland in this, because I think they know what they have, and he's not so young
They
now.
know what their audience is.
Right, and they're like, well, actually, like he's 30 years old now, so we can sexualize like the shit out of him, which I am all for. Tom Holland's a very good-looking man. So yeah.
Summer blockbuster season.
Yep, and then real quick, Marvel's adapting the Book of Boba Fett into a comic miniseries. They've done this for a few things, where they did it for like.
You know what?
Rise of Skywalker.
At least they won't have the incredibly awkward, slow speeder chase.
They'll probably make it look much faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that is my enduring memory of that season of
series.
television.
Yeah. It was not great. I know that the comic book adaptions of these like movies and TV shows have generally been better. For example, go and read the comic book adaptation of The Rise of Skywalker. Like with the last bit, Rey versus Palpatine with all the Jedi behind her with their lightsabers lit and shit. Like it is cooler to look at than it was in the movie.
Sure.
So, I hate Book of Boba Fett with a passion. It's probably our, at least for me, it's my least favorite live
really
action.
Not great.
Yeah, it's I feel like if they were to take out
it's a lot of missed potential.
Yeah, also it's really like it's weird in spots, like because you know how much I love Luke Skywalker. They should have not had Luke Skywalker stuff in that, because it just did not make sense at all. Why we were doing Mandalorian season 2.5, like in the middle of this.
Also, you got Danny Trejo, and you only
Oh,
got
you
one
for, like,
episode
one scene?
of him?
Yeah.
Come on, man. He would have been perfect in the finale.
Yeah. On the other side
it
of
makes
that,
total sense there.
on the other side of that, Boba Fett riding a Rancor,
Also pretty metal.
that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was a good idea. There was an X-Men trailer.
Yes, X-Men 97 season 2.
So yeah, I told you I put Abs guy in. I'm gonna leave him on there just for a second, and then we'll go over to
Wolverine.
Yeah, to Wolverine.
I'm back, bub.
When this comes out, you're gonna have to remind me what happened in the first season, because it was long enough ago that I can't exactly remember. But we will be talking about it on the show when it comes out. Because I remember enjoying the first season. I just can't exactly remember what happened. I remember Magneto.
Watch this because I don't remember everything either.
I remember Magneto being like a bisexual icon, and everyone was obsessed with him, which was great.
Which is fair.
Yeah. Other than that, I cannot exactly remember.
There was a genocide.
Yeah. The other thing is House of the Dragon season 3 comes out in less than a month, and it had its final trailer today, which we will be looking at in detail because I love these shows so much, and I have a bad feeling about this one. I think a lot of my favorites are going to die probably because that's how Game of Thrones is.
Well, we know from the history surrounding this era of Westeros that a lot of the dragons are going to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Possibly all of them.
Most of them do, I think. Yeah. I do love this shot though of all of Rhaenyra's dragons just like showing up to King's
Just
Landing,
swooping around.
Yeah. So yeah, when this comes out, we'll be talking about that too. So all right, we've got about half an hour here to get into Spider-Noir. You want to do a quick spoiler free? Also, I'm gonna move her.
It's weird. The older I get, the more appreciative I get of Nicolas Cage as an actor.
You know, I kind of love him. I think he's kind of great.
I think so. The common feeling about Nicolas Cage is that he will act in absolutely anything as long as the check clears.
Yeah.
But you can kind of tell the projects that he really likes and is excited to be in because he whole asses those as opposed to kind of half-assing the ones where he's just there for the money.
Or he whole asses them in a different way. I don't think he half asses anything.
Okay. Yeah.
But he sometimes he's just more insane on the stuff he doesn't really care about just because he wants to be goofy.
Yeah. This feels like whole ass Nicolas Cage.
It does, and I kind of love this show. I didn't like. I was like, okay, Spider-Noir, Nicolas Cage. Wow, that's kind of crazy because he did play the role in the Lord and Miller animated movies, but I was like, did we need a live action here? Like this might be fun, kind of in the same vein that watching the Punisher special was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I watched 4 episodes of this so far, and I was like, this is hilarious in spots. This is so funny in spots.
Like, you can tell the writers had a deep respect for the noir genre.
Yeah.
Because, like,
it is so noir. Oh, my God.
The dialogue hits so many of those same feelings.
Yeah, it's the music and the rhythm and everything of, like, what they say. The stakes are fairly low. It's just a little mystery, right? That Private Eye fucking Ben Reilly is trying to solve.
It gets compounded into a couple different layers.
And there's a dame.
Yep, of course.
And there's the assistant.
It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that Cat Hardy is a reference to Felicia Hardy, the black cat from regular Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was today years old when I discovered that.
Yep.
I did not realize that at all. Who are the? I guess we'll get into that a little bit. So I don't remember a ton of I watched 4 episodes in 2 days. Some of this is going to be. I'm just going to be flipping through these images as we kind of go through. They're not necessarily what we're talking about, but
so Ben Reilly. We open with our protagonist Ben Reilly, who's been hired to investigate this guy Addison. There's a nice little scenes where he's in a bar, asking the woman next to him, "Hey, does that guy look like this guy in this picture?" And she's like, "I don't know. You want to fuck?" He's like, "Not really. No. I'd rather do my job right now."
Hold on, I've messed up our slideshow.
There we go. I think you fixed it.
Well, I'm trying to make this a little bit smaller, and I don't think I can. Oh yeah, I can.
There we go.
There we go. That way you can see a little bit better.
Okay. So he chases Addison spots him and starts running, and he chases Addison down the road, and he gets slammed by a car door, and this other private investigator hops out and starts chasing Addison, and they finally follow him to this construction site where Addison's like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking light you on fire. And
you're jumping way ahead. Well, hold on just a second. I was so concerned with making sure that I wasn't ruining it, I didn't break the stream. Let's talk about Ben Reilly, the character, first.
Sure.
Okay. And we don't have to go completely in chronological order. He was the Spider in this universe, right?
New York's one and only superhero.
Yes. And he stopped being the Spider about a year ago.
5 years.
5 years ago.
After his wife.
It was his Mary Jane. I can't remember what her name is, though.
Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby was, I think we find out, was murdered by...
Yes, was murdered by some crook.
Yeah.
And he couldn't save her.
Right. And so he put away the costume forever and became a Private Eye, right? And so the beginning of our mystery, you were just talking about. He meets up with a woman in a bar, and
He's chasing Addison.
yeah.
And,
who is turns out he can light himself on fire,
Yeah.
like you mentioned,
and light other things on fire as well.
but
So the private
not-
investigator is like, you know what? That's really spooky. I'm going to shoot you with my gun.
yeah, I
now."
wonder if that also means you're bulletproof. Oh, you're not. Okay, well that was really easy. So which villain was it supposed to be, by the way?
I'm not sure.
Is it because some of them, like there's like the guy that
There's
can
the Sandman. There's the Lizard.
yeah.
Like there are some familiar
Electrode is one of them,
Yeah.
I think, shows up.
Electros.
So
There, yeah.
is this like maybe the Human Torch from Fantastic Four?
I really
maybe,
couldn't
or
tell
yeah, I
ya.
don't know. It's so some of it's kind of
Side
goofy.
note: how old is Ben Reilly supposed to be?
50s. I would
Okay,
I would
see,
guess.
See, I would have said like late 30s, 40s, but like it's kind of hard to ignore that Nicolas Cage himself is 62.
60. Yeah, that's
Wait-
why I kind of guessed 50s.
Which like there's a lot that makeup and hair dye can do, but he still does kind of look like a man in his early 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Anyway.
So this guy gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my favorite character in this show so far is Ben Reilly's fucking no nonsense secretary. There's and we'll see it when it comes up here in a bit, but there. I'll just save her for then because
She's so good.
She's really good. Also, I really love the kid that he is like he hangs out with to like he's like his little spy.
He's a little pickpocket.
Yeah.
And
So he goes back to work and he has this photo.
he has a client who comes in and says,
Mhm.
"Hey, I think my wife's seeing another man. Here's her picture. She's
Yep.
meeting him at this hotel tonight. Can you get some pictures?"
Yeah, and he's like, I guess. We are also introduced to who is this guy?
What is his name?
It's not Jimmy Addison. Lonnie. No, hold on.
No, Lonnie's the lizard guy. Robbie.
Robbie.
Yes, Robbie. That's his name.
Okay, I believe you. Who is?
A reporter.
Yeah, he's a disgraced reporter, right? He was at the Bugle,
Mhm.
but something happened and he's not there anymore, and so he's like trying to find a way to get back in. And he's kind of a really basic archetypal reporter
Mhm.
played by a really good actor. Where none of the characters are surprising twists on the noir archetype.
Because like that, the show is supposed to be a love letter to the genre, so they
Right.
really lean into those
Yeah,
tropes.
And it works out really well.
Mhm.
So this is always the reporter that teams up with the private eye,
Mhm.
and they break the case together and everything.
Also, he's one of the few people who know Ben
Yes.
Reilly's secret.
Right. And he's going to meet Riley here. This is this kid I was telling you about who is kind of a pickpocket and he's very streetwise. There's a really funny scene later on where his secretary is teaching him math.
Yeah.
Because she's like really worried he's not getting an education.
He is a ne'er-do-well in training.
Yeah. So
he gets on the phone to Donegal, I think. This is where they're comparing notes or something.
Right. So Addison reveals, hold on, Donegal kills Addison. Ben is hired to investigate nightclub singer. At the Radcliffe, Ben stops Kat's alleged lover from assaulting her. Hold on, are we that far? Oh, hold on. We meet, this is the scene I was telling you about. We meet Still Remain's right-hand man.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
The muscle. He shows up and tries to strong arm Ben Reilly into giving him the information about who hired him, maybe?
Yes?
Or
no,
he's trying to figure out what's
happening. He's trying to figure
yeah.
out who hired Addison
Right.
to burn down Sil Remain's house.
Yeah, and he pulls a gun to strong arm Ben Reilly, but
And
then
the secretary pulls a gun, points it at him.
this is one of like I really love this character. I think she's really great. So he's hired to investigate nightclub singer Kat Hardy for infidelity. We already talked about that. At the Radcliffe, Ben stops Kat's alleged lover from assaulting her.
That's coming up soon, I think.
Yeah, I think we skipped a bit. So these are the pictures that he
Yes.
got of
So,
the
yeah,
quote unquote infidelity, right? Which is Kat with
Yeah, the secretary looks in the mirror in the photo and says, "Hey, isn't that the mayor?"
yeah, she's fucking the mayor. Interesting.
To which Ben's response is, "I'm not doing anything with this
Yeah,
case. Fucking
right.
call the client, give him
Yeah,
his
yeah.
money back.
Too much
We're
heat.
out.
Yeah, too
We're
much
not
heat.
dealing with it."
It's a running gag with him, by the way. He always finds a way not to make money, which I think is really funny. Because like the secretary, they mentioned the secretary hasn't been paid in like
A month,
3 months or something, and she has a husband and everything. We find out that Addison obviously was not bulletproof, but also does not bear the markings of a man who immolated himself,
which is kind of weird.
Yeah, which is kind of bizarre. So they're trying to figure that out.
And I think Ben even tells Robbie, "Do not report on Addison. Like, shit is going way deeper than you know.
Yeah,
just let me work
right.
this case."
Yeah, you don't want to get involved in this. I love some of these shots, by the way, in the nightclub of her singing. One of these songs that she sings later on, it was right after she's almost murdered, is an original song to the show, I think, that she sings. That's really good. A lot of this is like,
but like our introduction to her is she's singing "Dream a Little Dream of Me,"
right? And I love that in this show it's very 30s, jazz. It is exactly what you'd expect to see either in a noir story or if you went and watched Star Trek: The Next Generation, when Picard goes into his holodeck program where he's whatever the detective is. It's a lot like that. It's so much fun. And also, I'm pretty sure this actress sang these parts as well, which is really cool. And
of course, Ben Reilly sees her, and it's love at first sight.
Yeah, right. So we meet here. This is
Silvermane.
Yeah, this is Silvermane. He catches up with PI Donegal and murders him.
Yes. So like Donegal was looking into who hired Addison, and he thought he had information. He was like, "Well, maybe I can extort some money out of Silvermane for this." And finally, Silvermane's guys just beat him up, and he tells Silvermane the stuff, what he knows and what he doesn't know. And Silvermane's like, "Okay, I'm gonna slit your throat now."
Yeah. Oh, which, by the way, when that happened, I was like, "Wait, what is this rated?" And I went and looked, and I was surprised to find that it was TVMA.
Yeah.
So Flint Marco is sent after Ben.
Yes.
To get the negatives of these
of the photographs that he took of Kat and the mayor.
There's this really funny part where he tries to hang him over the side of the building, and he's just like, I'm not
scared of heights.
I'm not scared of heights. I'm so sorry. And they do a little fight, and he turns into Sandman, right?
Yep.
Or is this the guy from Spider-Man who?
No, this is Sandman.
Rock guy who like turns himself into a rock.
No, this is definitely Sandman. Okay. Like they point out that it's sand many times.
Yeah. So at the end of the episode, Kat shows up to Ben's office,
and Ben's like, "You know what? Fucking have the photos."
Yeah. And also she wants to hire him to investigate
to find Flint.
Yeah, to find Flint Marco. So his secretary, of course, is thrilled that now they might have some income.
Well, she before was not so thrilled that Ben found every excuse to not make money, but as soon as there's some money coming in, she's like, "Okay, I'll stay."
Yeah. We get our first look here, the first good look at Silvermane, who they use the Dutch angle a lot with him to make it a little bit off-putting. And this is after Ben has accepted the case, despite suspecting that Kat is probably hiding some information. And he searches. Oh, this is a conversation between him and his right-hand guy. I can't remember.
Because Silvermane, it's prohibition, and Silvermane is, of course, wrapped up with smuggling booze. Yeah. And he's going to go down to the docks to get this shipment. Yeah. And his
hope the cops don't show up.
His muscle's like, "That's a really bad idea. You should let me go first.
Yeah.
And then you can come up later after it's safe."
Which, by the way, by all accounts, his right-hand guy is extraordinarily loyal.
Yes.
So I like this juxtaposition. We see Silvermane having breakfast, and he's got the little tart things, and he's got his espresso.
Yeah, because he's staying in a luxury hotel.
And then Robbie has ketchup on bread.
Ketchup sandwich. Which I saw that. I was like,
yeah. Oh yeah, I know that made me recoil a bit too. So he's got this story, and he wants to get back to the Bugle, and so he calls, I guess, the editor's assistant. And it's like, "Hey, like I need to talk to the editor," and she's like, "Look, you're never ever getting your job back. And he's like, just please. And she's like, okay, fine.
You get 2 minutes.
This is a little realization that after searching Marco's apartment, he learns that Marco and Addison were former World War I soldiers.
Ben finds this photo.
Yeah. And they were also, Silvermane enforcers.
Yeah.
So there is this really funny gag. He's hiding in the closet from I can't remember the other guy's name. The guy with the hat.
The jerk ass.
Yeah, but he left his hat on the little table.
So he like pops it open and Webb swings it in.
Yeah.
But it's raining outside, so there's some drops of water on the desk.
Yeah. This is where his secretary goes and bribes the police to look up somebody.
And she just brings him a sandwich.
Yeah. Also, they make he mentions that she hasn't been there in a while because I think Ben has just been drinking a lot.
Work.
Yeah. So let's see. All right, another Dutch. There are so many Dutch angles in this show. Kat admits Silvermane owns the Alcove, the bar that she's in there, and says that she has personal reasons for finding Marco. Because I think at first she said she was like, "Oh, it's just like we work together or whatever." But
he's my friend.
Yeah, it's. I think I clocked immediately that it's like you sucked his dick.
They're
probably fine. Yeah. So Silvermane's men capture Ben. And he does this really. I think he goes to web sling them, and
he's like, "It's Tai Chi."
Yeah, really I think he realized he's like, "Oh shit, they can see my face."
Yeah,
and if I do this, they'll know I'm Spider-Noir or the Spider. Yeah. And there's this whole fucking bit with Nick Cage where he's
toaster.
Yeah. Breaks the dude's nose, I think. But they put him in the car. And then he just escapes anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, what he says, and this is another really funny delivery by Nick Cage, where the guy in the front seat is the guy that got the toaster thrown at him, and he's got his nose stuffed full of gauze. He turns to the guy next to him, and he's like, "Well, I'm really sorry about your nose." And the guy's like, well, "It wasn't my nose; it was his nose." And he just punches him right. He just like
punches him in the face. Yeah, rolls
decks
out
him right in the face, and is just hanging from the bridge, doing the Spidey thing.
I love Nick Cage's fake New York accent.
Oh yeah, he does a few different weird accents in this show, and they're really funny. So this is the guy that's running for re-election. Is this the guy defending?
This is the mayor.
Yeah,
yes.
And he's doing anything he can to get points with people. He's pandering like fucking crazy. Like on the spot,
he decides we're ending prohibition.
Yeah, we're going to end prohibition. Oh, which is not good business for Silvermane, by the way, because he makes pretty good money on alcohol being illegal and him having it anyway. So we learn a little bit about that.
Kat is trying on a new dress at a shop with Silvermane, and she's like, "Well, I don't know about it." And Silvermane's like, "It's great, fucking buy it, wrap it up, we're going."
Yeah. So Robbie Robertson interviews Addison's widow and learns she's been spending the money Addison, or this is a little bit later. So this is the conversation he has with
the widow and meets Lonnie.
Yeah.
Who tells him where the widow's hanging out.
They live in this little like Hooverville. Yeah. Which,
little shanty town.
Yeah. And I can't remember what this is about. They're probably talking about something. She's probably saying something very witty because she's really witty. So this is Ben showing up at these where he used to live, I think, in this apartment where he used to live, pretending to be a maintenance guy.
And just smooth talks his way into the bathroom, locks the door, like breaks a hole in the wall.
I think his costume
gear.
And shit. It's really, really funny. Yeah. There's a really good line delivery here too, where the guy that lives in the apartment is like, "What are you doing in there?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm having an existential crisis." And he goes, "About my toilet?" And he's just like, "Okay, whatever."
And once he's finally gone out the window, the guy's like, "I don't think he was a plumber at all."
Yeah. And his wife's like, "No shit, you dumbass." So this is where Robbie Robertson interviews Addison's widow, right? Learns she's been spending the money Addison earned by burning down Silvermane's mansion. She's just kind of hanging out at this hotel.
She's just living her life.
So this is...
Silvermane on his way down to the docks.
Yeah. And who should show up?
But the spider.
The spider shows up. And this is a really cool sequence, by the way. The cool thing about the time period this story is in, it's in the 30s. Aside from a couple people with special powers, cars are still pretty slow. Things are still not nowhere as advanced as they are today. So
also gangsters are running around, so just everybody has guns.
yeah, and but what I'm saying is that like you don't run into the problem where when you do an Avengers movie,
Don't they just have cell phones?
right, or the fact that like one of the Avengers movies there's a whole action scene with a cloaking 747 that Spider-Man's on. Like it's not that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just in their Model Ts driving down the fucking street, and it's really refreshing because the stakes aren't super high and the action is really believable because of how basic everything is, right?
The power level is very low.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And also I fucking love this spider costume. I think it's really, really good. It looks so badass. I love the brimmed hat and everything.
I like the little voice modulation.
Yeah. Also, are his webs black?
Maybe.
I think they're like black and white. I think.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he beats up all the goons, steps into Silvermane's car, and is like, "Look, you gotta stop leaning on that detective Ben Reilly.
Yeah,
like he is a close personal friend of mine.
He doesn't know me."
He doesn't
but
know me.
him.
I know him, and you gotta leave him alone,
man. And then Robbie tells Ben that his actions accidentally prevented a police ambush.
Yes. So the police ambushed Silvermane's operation at the docks, and they were trying to get him, but he was delayed by someone.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
who.
I should point out that this guy that plays Silvermane is amazing.
Yes.
And was the same actor that played Professor Mad-Eye Moody in the Harry Potter movies.
I did not even.
You probably didn't recognize him without the big fucking eyeball, right?
And the long hair.
Yeah.
I think.
But he is, I think, either an Irish or a Scottish actor.
Okay, so he comes by his accent, honestly.
Yeah, that's why it sounds so good.
Yeah.
But he's really good. I can't. Brendan. I can't remember his name. Yeah. Neat little detail too here. He
So he looks at the money that Kat paid him with, and he's like, "Wait a minute, this bill is marked."
Yeah, they're all marked.
And he looks at the money that. Oh, right, because Silvermane hires Ben Reilly to figure out who's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And he pays him with his own money, and Ben Reilly's like, "Wait a minute, this is marked, but it's marked differently from the
other
money.
ones." Yeah. So he's starting to put a little starting to put a little plan together.
He's putting a plan together.
So Silvermane hires Ben to find the leak responsible for exposing his liquor shipment.
And we start episode 3 with Ben, or maybe I said starting it, but he goes down to the hospital where all the cops who are injured in the raid are, and he puts on his.
He's pretending to be a union rep, I think.
Police union rep, and he's just asking the nurse, "Can I just talk to some of these guys?" And he goes into the first one. He says, "Oh, it was really awful how, you, the low guy on the chain, got shot up while your bosses didn't get hurt."
Yeah.
Then he goes back and goes, "Can I talk to the sergeant?" And he does the same thing with the sergeant. The sergeant's like, "You gotta talk to the lieutenant." He's like, "Can I talk to this lieutenant?" He talks to the lieutenant. And he says, "It came right from the chief and the mayor. Like, what do you want me to do?"
Right. So you get some really valuable information. Also, a fun sequence watching Nick Cage try out a bunch of different accents.
He is just chewing on the scenery through this whole thing. I love it.
I wonder if I would enjoy this show as much if it wasn't Nicolas Cage.
Probably not,
because he is so ridiculous and a lot of fun. I put this in the slideshow just because I thought it was so fucking hilarious. It has no bearing on the story whatsoever, but Ben is waiting for a call on the payphone, and so he makes up this elaborate lie to this woman about how
this phone is broken.
Yeah, and then the call comes in, and he turns around while he's eating his sandwich.
Just answers the phone.
Yeah, he gets his info. He hangs up the phone, and he turns to him. And he's like, "I lied," and just walks off. It's the funniest shit ever.
Nick Cage is perfect in this role.
It's really, really good.
So the cops come to bust up the Hooverville.
Yeah.
And Lonnie doesn't like that very much.
Yeah.
And neither does Flint Marco, who's hanging out with Lonnie.
Yeah.
And they come out and beat up a whole bunch of cops. And who is there but Robbie, who gets a bunch of pictures.
He's getting pictures, yep.
And then goes to the Bugle and says, "Hey, let me write this story. I got all these pictures. It'll be great."
I have this in here. This is a conversation between Ben and... Or no, this is Cat and Silvermane, I think.
No. Silvermane is later. Next episode.
I think you're right. Ben...
So Ben is right now investigating who killed Silvermane, and he has a hunch, so he goes to talk to Kat, And through this, he starts to put together that Kat wanted Silvermane out of the picture. And she's like, well, I think you should go.
Yeah, so he's concluded that she leaked the shipment and she wanted Addison to burn down Silvermane's mansion, right? So Ben goes to visit Addison's widow, who is just living the high life at this fucking hotel and everything.
He's like, look, I know that you're the connecting tissue here that can confirm that Kat is the one who hired your husband. So how about you just get the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
Because like Silvermane is not going to be happy. He's violent and unpredictable. Who knows who he might kill? And she's like, well, why don't you give me $1,000 and I'll get the fuck out of here? And he's like, I don't have $1,000. She's like, what? You know who has $1,000? Silvermane. Yeah.
I like how by the way, I like how he's like, I just want you to save your own life. And she's like, it'll take $1,000.
Like, she has champagne taste, okay?
Yeah.
She's like, fine, just fucking chill out. I'll be back with $1,000.
Yeah. So he goes to visit Silvermane, and basically the whole point of this is for him to do a Richard Nixon at the DCCC, at the Watergate Hotel with the lock and everything, so he can get in later. But also he's trying to hire him full time, I think, right?
Yes.
Here, and he's like, no, bro, I don't think so, because all the people that work for you fucking die. That's a bad idea for me.
He actually says that outright in the next episode.
Yeah.
So Robbie going to the Bugle trying to get his job back so he can write the story, and his editor's like, you know what, fucking write the story. You can borrow a desk, and we'll see where it goes from there.
It kind of felt like in the moment too that he was playing Robbie over a little bit. So this is a really funny gag here with this kid where he's trying to teach him how to look cool, and he's like talking about like smoking a cigarette and all.
Well, no, he's telling the kid, you need to pretend to be me and make it look like I've been here this entire night.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be elsewhere, but there are people watching me, and I want them to think that I am here.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. Ben, you're a terrible influence on children.
Terrible role model, but.
So he sneaks into Silvermane's place, gets into his safe, and steals $1,000.
$1,000. And there's a scare where like, oh my god, everyone's waking up, and he's just hiding.
Yeah. I can't remember who this is. Doesn't matter. Ben confronts Kat at Penn Station.
Yes. So he gives the money to the widow and then goes to find Kat at Penn Station while Kat's trying to leave, and they get caught.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the mayor.
So they get caught. They get they're brought out in the middle of nowhere with Silvermane, his right-hand guy, a couple of other guys.
And there's a big hole.
Yeah.
Obviously an empty grave.
Yep. Ben kind of moves his queen into position and brings attention to the fact that all of these bills are marked.
Yes. So they have the widow out there, and the right-hand guy kind of had to slap her around a little, but she gave up that it was Kat. And so he pulls out the money that the widow had, and Silvermane looks at it. He's like, you know what? All these bills are marked, and they're marked in exactly the same way that I mark yours. And of course,
shoots him.
Shoots him, and he falls in the grave. And
it looks like he might shoot Ben as well.
They do a good fake out where he's like, "Hey Ben, you good with a shovel?" And Ben's like, "Why?"
Depends on what I have to do with it, I guess.
And somebody's like, "Because we're gonna need another grave." And the last shot of the episode is him shooting his gun.
Yeah. And it was his right hand guy, and it was
the right hand guy.
Yeah. So he's like without muscle kind of now, but so we're gonna speed run the last episode, right?
So Kat's singing at the nightclub, and Silvermane and Ben are celebrating, and Ben is out all night. And obviously
he's really drunk. Yeah, because it turns out Silvermane can drink really well.
Yeah.
But they kind of talk about what they're like, how they're going to handle everything.
The story came out, by the way, and it's not at all what Robbie wrote.
Right. It's propaganda.
Yes.
Pretty much, and it's really terrible.
So Silvermane goes to Kat, who is unpacking her bag, and he's like, "Okay, level with me. you were trying to kill me, weren't you? And she's like, no. He's like, then why were you trying to leave?
She spins a good lie here,
Yes.
by the way.
She's like, I was fucking terrified of you, not because I'm guilty, which I'm not, by the way, even though I kind of am.
Yeah.
But because you would think I am guilty and you would just lash out and kill me anyway.
But what was Ben doing there? With you. He wasn't there with me. He was watching me for you, you dumb fuck. And he's like, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And of course, as soon as Silvermane leaves, she calls Ben and is like, look, we need to get our story straight. Can you meet me at this fucking bar?
Yeah. This is her teaching this kid how to do math.
Yeah.
And she writes down the information.
Gives it to the kid, tells him, go find Ben. Right now.
Yeah. Ben's watching a movie and reciting the lines of this other like noir picture he really likes, and he's got a hot dog pretending to be a phone. It's Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. Who's this guy?
That's the servant, because this is supposed to be Silvermane's sit down with the chief of police, except he doesn't show up.
Yeah, right. He does not show up. So this is.
So Kat takes Ben to the theater where she used to sing before Silvermane found her and lays out her tragic backstory.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty sad.
And Flint is there and catches the last half of it and kind of catches that, maybe she's moved on a little bit.
Yeah, doesn't love that so much, by the way. So
they go down to the alcove, and Kat, halfway there, Kat's like, I don't really want to sing tonight. Can we go back to your apartment and maybe bang?
Yeah, he's like, yes.
Okay.
God, please, yes.
Let's see.
So they're all hanging out at Ben's place, by the way.
So Lonnie,
the
Robbie,
lizard
and
guy,
the
and
secretary are at Ben's office.
Yeah, they're all like playing rummy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through this a lot. So we get the
Ben gives his backstory, and Kat's like, oh, that's so sad.
They have a lot of shared trauma, and it's a whole thing.
And then there's a police report of, hey, there's this dude with superpowers down in the Diamond District.
Oh, Silvermane does a little bit of intimidation of the mayor and the police chief at dinner, and then tells Marco, just fucking kill these guys. I'm tired of them. There is something's happening down in the Diamond District.
And Kat hears it and is like, oh my God, it's Flint. And Ben's like, whatever.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to go deal with that. And she's like, you're such a fucking coward. And she leaves, and then he like scrambles to get all this shit.
Gets into his spider costume real quick and swings down, and it's Electro.
Yeah.
Or Megawatt.
Or
might
something.
Be his name in this universe.
Yeah, I don't know. He can do electricity stuff, right?
They have a fight, and
this looks. By the way, I bet this looks really cool in black and white. I didn't watch the show in black and white. I chose to do it in color, but I think this sequence in particular probably looks pretty neat in black and white. But so, at the end, the
spider wins, and the mayor swoops in and says, "Oh, we're gonna clean up New York." And Ben's like, "No, we're not. I'm not back. Yep. This is not a long-term thing.
The Spider and I are political allies now." And he's like, "No, I don't think
we're
that's
not."
true." Yeah, I like how he beats that guy, by the way, just by tiring him out.
Yeah, very much.
So he goes back home.
Just does some stretching to
his face is kind of beat up because he got beat up a little bit and everything.
And knock on the door, and who strolls in but Kat?
Yep. She goes and opens the window and sits precariously on the windowsill.
And she's like, "Hey, what the fuck happened to your face?"
Yeah.
Like, I walked into a door many times.
Yeah, many times. Please don't ask me any questions.
She's like, "Okay, here's a question for you. Am I right?" He's like, "About what?" And she's like, "This." And she leans back, and falls out. She
throws herself out the window.
And Ben, of course, webs her up and saves her. And she's like, "How do you do, Mr. Spider?"
I think this is supposed to be a kind of a shot-for-shot reference to like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man when Gwen fell down the clock tower, and he caught her the same way, right? Mm-hmm. Except she hits the ground. But and I think the same thing happens in Spider-Man No Way Home, where MJ falls off and Andrew Garfield actually saves her as well. Which, by the way, is still part of that movie that still kind of like makes me a little teary-eyed every time I see it because it's really good. But yeah, she knows the secret,
and then they fuck.
Yeah, and it's great.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah. Hey, we're only 6 minutes over budget today. This is fucking great. We will be back next week with the last 4 episodes of the show,
and probably some other bullshit. Who knows?
Some other stuff. Hopefully, some Star Wars news if there is any.
And hopefully just not unsubstantiated rumors.
So please come and join us then. In the meantime, I want to make sure real quick before we go, because every once in a while TikTok is... Yeah, see, someone said hello there.
Hello there.
Well, hello.